Hello friends, my name is Tapati Shaha and today I'm going to teach you about a trending topic that has put a pressure to all the persons globally. Okay, now guess what is the topic is? The topic is conservation of plants and animals. Okay, now you might be thinking that conservation of plants and animals, why we need to conserve them? Because you can see around you that there are lots of plants and lots of animals as well. But yes, we need to conserve plants and animals because the plants which we are watching every day in our day-to-day life is not sufficient plants needed for ourselves. For we humankind, that much plant is not sufficient. So for example, you can ask your grandparents that why we need to conserve the plants and animals. So once you ask them, they will be saying that the temperature is rising day by day and the climatic system is not well as well, because they can relate the climate that has passed 50 years ago and to today's climate, since our earth is warming up, and this is because of deforestation. So here you can see in the board that these are the questions I have put. What is deforestation? Why trees are cut down? What are the consequences of deforestation, or why we need to stop them? And number fourth question is, what are the steps taken till now to protect the flora and the fauna? So these are the questions we will be learning through this topic. Now there will be some another terms also I am introducing, rather than from the bookish knowledge. So I am going to teach you about this today's work. These four important questions under this conservation of animals and plants topic. Okay, so let's get started. Now coming to the first question, what is deforestation? Now, in order to conserve the plants and animals, we first need to know what is deforestation. Okay, so that only we can conserve the plants and animals. Now see, it is a clearing of forest and using the land for other purposes. Means deforestation generally means the clearing of forest and using the land for other purposes. Means you have seen that our forests are getting shrinking day by day. Now what is the reason for that? Because trees are being cut down. So generally the cutting of trees and using that land for other purposes like different kinds of grazings and cultivations and some other things, these forests are cut down for our human purposes. So from here we came to know what deforestation is. Now you can see the next para. Also some natural causes of deforestation are forest fire and severe droughts. Now the things which I have mentioned earlier, that what are the main causes of deforestation, are mainly cutting down of trees, and that is obviously man-made. Means human beings are cutting down trees because animals can't do that, right? Now some natural causes of deforestation are also there, which includes forest fires. Means you have heard a news lately during this time that there are say fast forest fires in dense forests. This causes a different reaction for these forest fires, but it is a natural part of deforestation. Okay, and the next is severe drought. Means when the land become barren, so that it couldn't get enough nutrients so that the soil could cultivate themselves and new plants can grow. Okay, so here you can find out that deforestation which is artificial, means man-made, are cutting down of trees, and the deforestation which is natural includes forest fire and severe droughts. Okay, earlier in question number 1, I have taught you what deforestation actually means. Now, once we cut the trees from the forest, now what does the land helps us to do? Now you can see why trees are cut down. We will get an appropriate answer through this question. Now you can see number 1, processing land for cultivation, building houses and factories, making furnitures or using wood as fuel. Now these are the main 3 points that I am noting here, and there are many other reasons reasons why trees are cut down, but these three things are mainly the reason why trees are generally cutted and the forests are being deforested. Okay, now as you see, processing land for cultivation means trees are big trees are cut down so that they can cultivate other things in them, building houses and factories. After cutting the trees, the empty lands where they can build houses and factories as well, and making furniture or using wood as fuel. Now you all have in our home wooden furnitures which are also being made from the cutted trees, or using wood as fuel. Means in some areas where LPGs is not present, they still use the wood as fuel to cook. Okay, am I clear? Okay. Now question number 3 comes, what are the consequences of deforestation? Means what will happen once the forest gets deforested, and why we need to conserve plants and animals. Okay, now see, it increases the temperature and pollution level on the earth. Means as we know that we need oxygen in order to stay alive. Okay, but plants need carbon dioxide. But once we all know from our childhood that plants emit oxygen and inhale carbon dioxide. So once we are cutting plants, the amount of oxygen secreted by the plants is generally lowering, but our population is rising, so our crave for oxygen is rising day by day, and exhaling the oxygen is increasing, which means and also another point is that carbon dioxide is warmer in nature, so lots of many carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will generally increase the temperature of the earth. So overall what happens is that it increases the temperature and pollution level on the earth. Okay, the first point is done. Now the second point, increases the level of CO2. So first and the second point is interrelated, as you can see, because I have explained that why CO2 is increasing, because once cutting down of trees, we humans, which we are craving for oxygen to live our life, is generally increasing, but the amount of supply of oxygen is decreasing. So the atmosphere is now full of carbon dioxide and is generally heating the earth. Okay, now the third point is groundwater also gets lowered. Now what happens, the property of tree roots is to hold the soil properly so that the rainwater can get deposits inside the ground. But once we cut the tree, the roots are vanished. So where will the rainwater fall, and how can we hold the water into the soil? So there is obviously very problem to hold the water into the soil. So generally the groundwater is also getting lowered. Now these are the three main points which are the consequences of deforestation and why we need to conserve plants and animals. In order to stop increasing the temperature level of the earth and lower the pollution level on the earth, we need to conserve plants and animals. Secondly, in order to maintain the amount of carbon dioxide of the earth or of the atmosphere, we need to conserve plants and animals, and groundwater is also getting lowered. So in order to get more groundwater and in order to get more drinking water, we need to conserve plants and animals. So you can see that these are the most important reasons why we need to conserve plants and animals and why deforestation should be avoided. Now coming to the fourth question, what is it? What are the steps taken down till now to protect the flora and the fauna? Now what are the steps which we are going to discuss, that what are the steps taken by the government to protect the flora and the fauna? Flora means the plant diversity and fauna means the animal diversity. Okay. Now, number one, protected areas are being built. Now, to protect the flora and the fauna, protected areas are being developed by the government. Now, what are the areas? Number one is the wildlife sanctuary. Number two is the national park. Number three is a biosphere reservoir. Now, what is wildlife sanctuary? Those are the areas where animals are kept protected and suitable living conditions are favored. Means wildlife sanctuaries are the areas where animals are being protected and suitable living conditions are favored. Means in order to keep the animals protected, wildlife sanctuaries are created and also favorable living conditions are also favored to them. Now coming to the national park. What is national park? Areas reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitats and natural resources. Means the areas where the wildlife are being kept and they can freely roam around and go through it, and they can go through any of the places and through the worth habitat. This is the national park. And nextly is a biosphere reservoir. They are the large areas of protected lands for conservation of wildlife, plants and animals, resources and traditional life of tribals in the area. Means biosphere reservoirs are the areas, large areas of protected lands for conservation of wildlife, plants and animals. Means these are the large areas where specifically the animals which are getting extinct and needs to be conserved. So biosphere reservoir is that place where these animals are kept, and also traditional lives of areas, tribals in the areas are also present. Okay. Now this so you might be thinking that these are the so many things organized by the government, so why we need to worry about to conserve the plants and the animals. But these are the steps that are taken by government, but they are not necessarily be protected by the government. Means there are some poachers that are living in the neighborhood. They deliberately kill the animals and cut down the trees for their own being, so that they can provide human luxuries. The government are doing their own steps, but still they couldn't protect them nicely, because we people are getting more greedy day by day, and for our well-being, for our to live our luxurious life, the poachers are getting the chance to kill them. And obviously what happened is that the animals are getting extinct, the plants are getting extinct, and deforestations are also happening day by day. Okay. Now, apart from the topic which we are learning before about the deforestation, conservation of plants and animals, so just leaving it behind, I'm going to teach you about some new terms related to the topic conservation of plants and animals. So what are the terms? Let's see. Number one is endangered animals. Now, what are called endangered animals? Now, I have put here a definition here. You can see animal whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction is known as endangered animals. Means animals or plants as well, whose numbers are diminishing day by day to a level that they might be never seen in the world again, or the species can never be seen in the world again, or never be created again by the human, is known as endangered animals. Now, what are the causes of endangered animals? So here you can see this point. These are basically the causes of endangered animals. So number one cause is grazing. Overgrazing can lead to the unfertility of the soil and hence leading to deforestation and hence extinction of animals as well. Number two is poaching, means trading their animals' organs internationally or nationally by the hunters, and then hunting is for our own self, for our own satisfaction. People hunt animals. And the next thing is collecting firewoods. So means the people's living in the neighborhood of such things, such places like wildlife sanctuary or national parks generally cut the woods for their own self, so that they can prepare their food, and gradually the fire woods are being cut, and the forests are becoming more barren day by day. So these are the things that are caused so that the extinction of animals can take place. So these are the things. At time, we unintentionally or intentionally kill small animals such as snakes, frogs, ants, etc. But we don't know their actual role in the ecosystem. They are generally maintaining our balance in the ecosystem. So my suggestion is that do not kill intentionally the animals, because the ecosystem the balance may be unbalanced. Okay, now coming to the next topic is that the red data book. Now what is red data book? It is related to endangered animals, obviously. It is a source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. Means it is now the world contains of various of animal species and plant species. But how we will get to know about which one is getting endangered and which one is getting safe? So a book generally is maintained by an organization, nationally or internationally. So what happens in this book is that it is generally a source book which keeps the information of which are the animals are being endangered or which plants are being endangered. Okay, now next point will be, now coming to another important definition which we are going to learn is reforestation. Now what does reforestation means? It is the restoring of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. It is the restoring of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. Means reforestation means restoring or planting new trees to the destroyed forest. Now the planted trees should be of same species which were found in that forest. Means the same species of plants should be restored or reforested from where the plants are being cut. Now, reforestation is the actual answer of deforestation. Yes, plants could be planted again. Now, see, reforestation, what I have said earlier, is the answer to deforestation. But there should be one main point to notice is that we must plant the same species of plant from where the plants are being cut. It means if we cut a mango plant, we have to plant another mango plant to that various space, so in order to get reforested. Now reforestation can occur naturally also. If the deforested area is being remain untouched, then plants can grow themselves naturally. Okay, am I clear? Now much. So hope you will understand the topic conservation of plants and animals and how it is important in human life, why we need to conserve plants and animals for a sustainable future. We need to think about our future generation, that what they will survive on. So in order to get more plants and animals, we have to plant as much as plant we have cut it. So everything is fine now. Today is up to this much. Okay.